All right, so I'd like to go into a little bit more detail about these four subfields of anthropology. The first one that we mentioned was physical or biological anthropology, and it's the study of the human anatomy, but not just today's present human anatomy or any individual person's human anatomy, but human anatomy thought about broadly, not only all humans, but also all humans throughout time and our pre-human ancestors. So biological anthropologists, physical anthropologists will study human evolution. They also encapsulate primatology, which is the study of great apes and primates, who are our most recent ancestors. They study human growth and development, human adaptation to different climates, human various kinds of adaptations, and forensic anthropology. Oh, here we go. I myself am a cultural anthropologist, and as you might guess, this is also sometimes called social anthropology, but as you might have guessed, cultural anthropologists study culture. We study patterns and in human behavior, and culture is a society's shared and socially transmitted ideas, values, and perceptions, which are used to make sense or experience the world and which generate behavior and are reflected in that behavior. So cultural anthropologists study human culture, not only in present day, but also in the past. So study previous cultures, how they were organized in history. There's two main components of cultural anthropology, and that's field work, which we've discussed a little bit, and participant observation, which we will both be discussing more, and ethnography, which we've also touched on. So field work and participant observation are all part of ethnography. When you do an ethnography, you go to the field, and that is called field work. You have to live for a long time and work side by side with the culture you're trying to understand. It's called field work, and it's also sometimes called participant observation, because if you want to study dancing, you have to go out and dance. You have to do the thing you're trying to study. And so we often take part in various kinds of rituals and performances and things that you might want to learn about. That's again all part of ethnography, and it seeks to understand a particular way of life to a far greater extent than any non-participant research ever could. So another one of the four fields of anthropology is archaeology. Archaeologists study human culture through the recovery and analysis of material remains. So that's the key here is archaeology studies human beings through the things that human beings make or have made. So it studies the material stuff that humans leave behind. So you see this picture here of a pit of looks like it was a building of some kind, or maybe I don't know what this was, but if you recovered a pot, that would be archaeology. You're studying human stuff, something that humans created. But if you discovered bones or a corpse, this would be biological anthropology, because you would be studying the human body. Don't get those two confused. That's probably one of the more common ways that students lose points for that question. So an archaeologist like Indiana Jones or something might study human tools, pottery, hearths, enclosures, and also modern archaeologists. You might think that archaeologists just study people from the past. They don't. They study human material culture. So there's a big part of archaeology that studies human garbage and what our garbage and what we throw out, what we choose to throw in the dump says about us. So another one of the four fields is linguistic anthropology. We'll be talking about this quite a bit at a later date. Linguistic anthropology is one of the most distinctive features. Oh, I'm sorry. Language is one of the most distinctive features of the human species. And linguistic anthropologists study humans and non-human language. And there is non-human language, which we will discuss. So that will describe a language, how a language changes over time, and the history of a language or language family. So I said that these are the four main fields of anthropology. You don't have to know anything on this PowerPoint slide right here. But if you're interested in majoring in anthropology, or you want to know more things about anthropology, these are some of the various kinds of fields and other types of anthropology, there are a lot. As an anthropologist, if you study human beings, you can study just about anything, but you use anthropology as a lens through which to understand these various kinds of things, such as cognitive linguistics, uh, comparative syntax, maritime archaeology, paleopathology. All these things can be anthropological studies.